Greetings, YouTube. You know, sometimes you just gotta have to declare that you didn't win, but you didn't lose, and a little bit of growth is better than no growth at all. I feel like that's my feeling tonight because even though this has not come into the game yet in terms of the inbox of Marvel Contest of Champions, buried in the forums currently as of April 18th, 2018, which will be the next week of Alliance quests after this, we now have from Kabam Mike, which I'm still amazed by the spelling of Mike and why it has two eyes, but whatever. He has given us some feedback because Kabam has heard from us and knows that the Sentinel changes were not exactly embraced by a lot of people. And even those of you who are going to surely comment and say, stop talking about the Sentinels, they're easy, surely will still be thankful for some of these adjustments starting next week. So let's talk about the good before I talk about the bad. So the good is that from now on, just like symbioids, they're going to only have 2 bars of power instead of 3, which means if they use their special 2, they're not automatically going to be able to use their special 1 back-to-back, which has killed quite a few people that are willing to admit that they're not perfect fighters. Then, something that's kind of interesting for maps 4 and 5, their SIG level is 1. And that can really help decrease their power and ability to create more damage. So that is very good. And that also means, as the post points out, that they will steal less of your attack rating, which of course means you have a better chance of not dying / getting through the fight faster. You are also going to have the attack rating of all Sentinels be reduced by 15% and their total health by 10%. Again, these are intended to make sure that you don't time out so much, especially against the skill Sentinel, which is the #1 complaint I have heard from so many people on my channel. And speaking of the skill Sentinel, the skill Sentinel's chance to purify goes from 100 to 50. Heck yes, this is the biggest win because suddenly we can actually do something that does not involve a Agent Venom on steroids and cause a debuff to actually last. And if that's 50%, that means half the debuffs should last, which is kind of like fighting Agent Venom, even though, yes, Sentinels are still bleed and poison immune from the get-go. The Fury buff potency of Science Sentinels reduced by 30%. Those of you who have fought those and really not enjoyed that feature of them will be happy to know if you are on those paths. And then I don't think this is really that big of a change. In fact, it's the least important of the changes. They're not going to be hidden anymore on the maps, but if you've been fighting on map 5 and map 6 at all, you should already know where they are because they're the exact same places that the symbioids already were. And if you've done that path once, you should know where everybody is on the map. So then a note that they put that's supposed to make us happy, and this is where I talk about the bad a little bit. Because on one hand, yeah, it's pretty cool that next week there are no donations for Alliance Quest because everything is free. Certainly that helps everybody, and maybe this will push some people to do map 6 because there's no fee for map 6. In fact, there's no Sentinel in map 6. So this is kind of a neat irony if you think about it. And then besides that, it's also kind of nice, I guess you can say, that you have the ability to not exactly have to worry about what they call the minion type variants used as opponents in quests. And so what they're saying is that none of the changes impact the player available Sentinel. So this means that if you open Sentinel in a crystal, you're not going to have to worry about it. This is just what they call the minion, which I'm pretty sure is not associated with the Minion movie. I'm thinking this is bad, though, because this really isn't what the community needed, right? They changed the nature of the game in the fight against Sentinels during the season. So if you want to make players happy, just give us the ability to get more rewards so that if we fight against Sentinels and we die more, we're compensated. I think I speak for a lot of the community when I say we would have liked for the Sentinels to stay in the same difficulty that they were when they were released if you gave us better rewards for the fights, especially map 5 and map 6. If you said, look, we're going to keep the Sentinels, but we're going to start giving you some tier 5 basic shards, at least introduced into Glory, and maybe some more tier 2 alpha shards, that would have been far better than we'll make them easier and we'll give you a week of free Alliance Quest, but overall we're going to keep the rewards, which are pretty straight garbage considering what Alliance War has been buffed to do as is. So overall, it's a small win for the community. It's certainly better than nothing, but it's still not what we deserve to see. Kabam should have just waited until the next Alliance Quest season to introduce the Sentinels and buff the rewards in the process, but because they didn't, they're now trying to save face. And as somebody who is not part of the Content Creators Program, because I really don't want to sound biased toward Kabam in any way, or give them the ability to say, hey, we're giving you these champions, so you need to say nice things about us, I'm going to call it like I see it. And in this case, it's putting a Band-Aid over something that should have been a full opportunity to reconcile by healing. So I'm not very pleased with this, but maybe some of you will be. So comment below and let me know your thoughts and feelings on this. And besides that, have a wonderful weekend, and good luck in the day 4 of your Alliance Quest, especially those of you running Map 5 and Map 6.